Hello YouTube fam and welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you how I prepare my seasoned rice. Now for this particular seasoned rice I will be using some chicken breasts instead of the usual saltfish. So after removing these from the package, I usually give them a nice rinse. Now for the final rinse, I'll be adding some apple cider vinegar. If you don't have apple cider vinegar, you can always use the regular vinegar. Or you can also use lime or lemon juice. So after draining, I'll just be cutting these into smaller pieces. Not too big, not too small, something like this. Yeah, this will work. Now if you have a knife that is sharp, I'll recommend that you use a cutting board instead of actually holding the meat in your hands like you see me doing right here. Alright? Now I'll be adding some Grace cock flavored seasoning. And I'll just use my fingers to work these through to ensure that it is evenly distributed. Also, I will be adding some Walker's Wood jerk seasoning. and I'll just use my fingers to work this in as well. So we'll now be leaving this to the side for just a little bit as we wash our vegetables. Here I have my green bell pepper, and some tomatoes. I'll also be adding some purple onions. But usually these vegetables that don't carry an outer peel, I am usually very careful with how I wash these, because as you know, a lot of hands have touched these in the stores and you just want to be on the safe side. So after washing these with some soap, I'll now be dicing these and adding to my chicken along with some purple onions. And for some reason, I did not realize that my camera was not recording until after I've already added these to the chicken. So this is what it looks like after I've added the red onions, green bell peppers, and the tomatoes. Now I will be brown stewing this before it is added to the seasoned rice. I'll be using some mazola vegetable oil. So I'll just add a little bit in the pot. Ensure the pot is very hot and there's no water. After a few minutes, when the oil is hot enough, I'll be adding my brown sugar. This is the browning I will be using for my brown stew. I'll be caramelizing my brown sugar. Don't want to add too much. It depends on the amount of chicken you're using, really. So first, you will notice that there are some small bubbles slowly starting to form around the edges. How you'll know it's ready is when there are actually bigger bubbles that have formed. You don't want it to get burned, because once it's burnt, it gives a bitter taste and you don't want your chicken to taste bitter. So as you can see, the bubbles are starting to get a little bigger. Still not ready. I'll just give it a little stir. Ensure that everything gets to caramelize at once. Just give it a few more minutes. So this is what it will look like when it's ready for you to add your meat. So I'll just go ahead now and add my chicken. You go ahead and give it this a stir. Bringing some of the browning from the bottom to the top of the chicken. Now after you've stirred the chicken, you'll notice that there are some little sticky brown the browning tends to stick to the spoon. Don't mind that, that comes off pretty easily. Once you soak the spoon in a little water, it will just melt off. So after a few minutes, this is what your chicken should be looking like. And I'll just get right into preparing the seasoned rice. So here I have a little water that I've added to the pot, not too much, and this also depends on the amount of seasoned rice that you'll be cooking, guys. And I'll be using some Jamaican choice coconut milk. As you can see, this thing was giving me some problem before. As you can see, there are 2 holes that were already pierced, and for some reason my can opener was getting stuck. But here we go, it's working now. And by now your water should be boiling. So I'll just add this coconut milk to the boiling water. I'll add a green Scotch bonnet pepper. Also, I'll add some thyme, some chopped red onions, some green bell peppers, some red bell peppers. And we'll just give that a stir. We'll just let that boil for about 2 or 3 minutes, I should say, and then I'll add my cock flavored soup, Grace cock flavored soup, cock flavored soup mix, I should say. And then we'll stir again. We'll now leave this to boil for about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then we'll be adding our rice. So for this meal, I'll be using the Basmati Carolina brand. So that's some basmati long grain rice. After rinsing, I'll just add this to the pot. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, my camera went out as I was recording, and I did not catch a footage of me adding the pumpkin and some pimento seeds. So be sure to add this to your pot as well before you add your rice. So I've already added the rice and I've added my brown stew chicken. So I'll just be stirring this from the bottom to ensure that there's no stickings at the bottom of the pot. We don't want our seasoned rice to be burnt, so we'll have to stir this carefully over medium heat, of course. Once you notice that the water in the pot has gone down to this level, you know that we'll now be steaming our rice, and the flame needs to be on medium. So I'll now be adding some ackee, Grace Ackees in salt water. We'll just pour this on top. And give it a stir. So while stirring, you have to be careful as to not crush the ackees too much. We still want to have those chunks. So after stirring, we'll now be turning down our flame to low, very low actually, before we cover and allow it to steam. Now after about 10 or so minutes, this is what it's looking like, and I'll just be giving it another stir to ensure that the bottom of the rice is not being burnt. Just be taking whatever is at the bottom, putting it at the top, and vice versa. So after a few more minutes, guys, my seasoned rice is finally ready and I am ready to eat.